Good morning, traders, and welcome to the live trading webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. Good morning, and we'll jump into the markets. We do this webinar every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. It's based on our educational course, but the live analysis, forward-looking, not hindsight, so that you can apply what you've learned, and you can apply this to any strategy. Then we follow up also Wednesdays and Thursdays with live trading, stock trading by Jay Trader, and Scott Pulcini, futures trader. This will complete your education, this is all free right now. So this is quite a nice offering. Soak it up, take as much as you can from it. We need to go through some disclosures, and then we'll jump right in. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Bartoza, so what's good? All right, let's take a look here. We'll jump right in, just noted a few massive iceberg orders. You can see it in the subchart here, guys. This is pretty interesting stuff. The cash open here. We're looking at the S&P E-mini. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, 8th Trader, JC, Lewis, Winthrop III, and others. Yeah, I want to go through this. This is has real potential here to slingshot the other way, and potential gap fill. A lot of stuff kind of going on in here. Let me quickly go through this. Here's why. I'm just going to enumerate. We have a move down. We have high liquidity in here. It gapped down. High liquidity filled here. Massive, pretty massive iceberg orders getting filled in here. Also high liquidity getting filled in here. Look at this quick move away here. Pullback, and then continuation. All right, so we're looking for, let's see if we get enough buyers here and then rip it up into 3870 up here, or potential other areas. And the reason being is because of what we just talked about. Now what we're looking for is a lot of buying here to lift this offer. We want to see also on the bid here. They are on the bid at 3860. And then let's read the context in here. All right, are they staying in the order book? Yeah. Well, are they adding higher? Not really. Let's see if they add a little higher here. Looking for also, we got a nice stop run to the downside here, nice stop run to the upside here. We'd be looking for another stop run to the upside here if we can get maybe some of these sellers going the wrong way. All right, let me hold on a minute here and just we'll go with the automatic setting here on the stops as well, and maybe boost this up a little bit, the multiplier. Okay. Another iceberg in the market right now, 180. Okay, look at this one down here. They're still down here at 3850. In fact, it's this guy. This is amazing to me. I just love it. All right, this guy in here. There's a couple of different icebergs in here, I believe. Or maybe I'm wrong. Looks like it could be just one. It's massive size. All right, so 432. 1830 here, transaction. This, I don't know if you guys saw this in here in real time. If not, like maybe I can put this on our Discord channel and you guys can download the file or something, because it's fascinating to see. Good morning, Rob, and Mick Loco, nice to see you back. It's really fascinating to see this. It's just on the bid here. There's no liquidity here, very little. 26 contracts here, and look at the size that's trading here. And they're just sitting here. It's hitting these sellers are hitting right into it. this is like an iceberg for stocks that typically what I see, not so much for futures. You do every now and then also for futures, but they even get more on that I've seen in some of the stocks. I know we don't have the stops and icebergs for stocks, but we've seen it in the market. Larger player, they're going to absorb as much as they can. And then finally, the sellers just give up, and it just bolsters to the upside. Anyway, they were just sitting on here, hitting the sellers, hitting into it, hitting into it, hitting into it. Finally, they did go through it, but look what this guy did. Okay, he moved it down to the figure, and he's still here. Okay, so let's just zoom out a little more. Here he is, right here, same iceberg. Okay, so anyway, maybe we'll see like. I turn my head away, and we're looking for that 3870. It's already gone to it. We're looking at the next level here, right? We're just about there, 875. We have the cash open up here, 77, also 80 up here. All right, liquidity is at 80 and kind of 83. All right, so it's ripping. Sorry, guys, I just can't keep up with this. It's just moving too quickly, and I can't cover any points in here, and I hate that. We can see a flip of the order book here as well. We'll see if it's gonna be support in here or not. But for the reasons that we just talked about, the icebergs, the stop run, high liquidity getting filled in here, and then we see this kind of rip away from it, kind of moves the market back up into these areas here, and then we're looking for our buyers. Okay, we got them. We were first looking for 3870, and that was it for the moment. It's actually come up a bit higher into 75, and let's see if we can still get some more buyers in here. All right, so and then also let me take a step back here on what we're looking at. Okay, we're looking at also the bigger picture here. It is here on this is a 5-minute chart, okay, on the right hand side, and an hourly in the center, and then a daily here on the left. Okay, so on the daily here, look at this, move below these swings here from back on the 6th and 7th of September. Nice move below it. Let's see if we can get back up above it and maybe fill the gap here. Okay, the gap is, well, there's a partial gap here. The real gap is up here, okay, at 39.23 or so. All right, the first pullback we're looking for here, if this is going to continue, is, well, we came up to the top of these kinds of bodies up here, but the wick is up here. Okay, so I'd like to see the buyers try to trade up and test this 3880 level here, somewhere around there. It's, I think, maybe 79 or 78.5 or something. That's where that wick is on this 5-minute chart. All right, so just looking for maybe something like that. Let's zoom back in here and see what's going on. McLocal, why things might look a little differently in here. We have the quadruple witching today, but everything looks pretty good here in the S&P. Some days ago, yeah, it was a little bit weird. Yeah, that's typical. The surrounding price, kind of a halo around price, is very, very indicative of. I mean, we see it. It's just larger players or market making algos that can they're just kind of staying in the queue until they want to do something. All right, you'll see it. I mean, sometimes we see it in the S&P and during the day, and not even close to any sort of expiration. Aloha, Crypto Surfer. Yeah, that was big absorption at 60. Absolutely, Captain Price. Okay, Cloud, I hope that answers your question. Okay, I mean, we went through the process a couple times now, rather quickly, but you know, we want to get to the live analysis. That's what we're here for. Okay, strong move by sellers right back down, but structurally we're still bullish in here. Here's why. You know, this is our kind of pivot to go through, which they may. You know, we're looking to see. Okay, this is kind of an odd structure in here right now. It's a pretty quick move up, and it turned into this kind of structure here, and then it moved right back down. Okay, so anyway, buyers are back up here. Okay, still looking for them. 75. There we go. 80. Let's look for the push into 80. And 80, or 83 as well, right? We said 83 up here. And here's why. I thought it was the cash open. I'm sorry, guys. I forget what it was. 80. There was 83. I guess maybe the liquidity was up there. But some of these other areas in here from the overnight are pre-market. 90, 95, the figure. Anyway, it's a strong move here. So looking for a continuation of that strong move. You know, any questions on this? I mean, just, you know, I'll go over it again if you guys want. But we also, we talked about this a lot, about kind of Wyckoff and the easy move. Once you've captured the direction, the markup period is just ride it, basically. We're not, you know, it's not rocket science at that point. And we're just looking, you know, in these consolidation periods to figure out when that is going to happen, and that possible scenario for it to unfold. That's why we go through the scenarios. And then we saw this before that moved, and we saw this quick move down here, moving it up away from the bottom of the range here, back up into the range here, and then we see the continuation. All right, so this is what we want to, I mean, we put these pieces together. Again, you know, high liquidity on the bid is getting filled, big iceberg orders, massive iceberg orders, and then the quick move away after dipping into this high liquidity here. Okay, those are the three kind of things in here that we noted, and then we talked about the potential move up into 70 liquidity here. Then I guess it was 73, not 83, and then 80. Yeah, that's what it was. And then it's still strong move, and we're in the markup period, right? So we're still looking for continuation until we see something different, right? All the back and forth in here, you know, we want to be able to read that for that potential scenario. And then once we have the markup period, we're looking for trying to ride it as much as we can. Okay. Yeah, it's a squeeze here. You can see some of the stop runs in here. Look at this. Icebergs are still buying here, which is interesting, quite a bit as well. Okay, here's another 1130 right here. It looks like there's two. Maybe is it two different? No, there are many. Yeah, it's two different icebergs in there. All right, guys. Well, so anyway, that's where we are at this point. And I think we're all kind of caught up. Let's see. This move here took place. We got the strong buying here. We also got strong buying here. And obviously that broke. Another thing we can look at here is this area here. Around our 870 again. Okay, where it kind of, that was original target over here. Okay, here's another one here. Here they come. All right, buyers, let's see it back up to here. First test here up to what 83. Okay, see where it dropped here, retest. So looking for another retest back up here. Maybe 82.5 is better. Let's zoom in. Yeah, I like 82.5 better. Okay, so looking for that first, and then the continuation here up into 85, 86. Okay, we're still in markup period. And this is what it looks like. Now, so it's kind of funny that, you know, a volume profile or candlestick patterns, I mean, they all have, you know, head and shoulders, you know, Wyckoff with his markup, markdown, distribution, you know, all that kind of stuff. We're putting a big name on it and to identify it. Guys, it's just order flow. It's understanding these moves in here. And understanding this kind of back and forth and kind of the you know, who's winning the battle in this back and forth in here, and then let it ride. You know, so is this turning into distribution up here? Maybe. We don't know quite yet, but I'm looking at markup period until we see something different, right? We do see some selling in here, but it's not a whole lot. And then here again, they kind of broke out here. It's retesting back. Let's see if we can get buyers back up above here, and then quick strong move back up into 80, 83, and then 85, 86. Here we go. That's what we're looking for, above this. And now can we get more buying here? Okay, right here. They're on the bid. That's good. Seems like sellers are kind of going after it, though. That's not good. So we have them on the bid here, but sellers kind of want it. That's the context. Cold Fish, good morning. New to Bookmap and is wondering Iceberg Blue and Stop Run Red were add-ons. They are. They're add-ons you can get from the Bookmap marketplace. Okay, Captain Price, you're not. That's good to know. I mean, you're not, you know, good at OPEX, you know, expiration, quadruple witching, whatever it is. So you're not trading. Good thing to know. All right, so okay, so sellers dropping this here pretty quickly. Kind of turn my head at the wrong times today. We saw this kind of you know, drop here by the sellers, and then we're looking for buyers back up above it. We got leg one, or it started to kind of trade up here, and was looking for the next one. Now I'm looking for it down here. Okay, buyers here. Let's see if we can get it right here. And then we're looking for a pretty quick move back up into this area here again, back up into right into here. Okay, our 81.5. Okay, so far so good. And again, look at the liquidity in here. Right, these are other things to really notice. This is, again, like it's not a signal service like, oh, every time there's liquidity and it gets filled, it's going to bounce. It's not like that. It's about understanding the context in here, about this kind of a number of different pieces. Now, even those number of different pieces, see what's happening here right now. It's screwing that up potentially. Maybe it's going to aid it, but right now it's kind of screwing with it. And we're not too clear. It's not as clear here. Okay, they're on the bid again here. They're on the offer here now. Okay, so yeah, We don't really quite know. If this is starting to turn into distribution, okay, well, then I'm looking for one more kind of test up here at least by buyers. Okay, maybe up into here, 80 or 80, kind of 3 or 4, 5, and 6. And it is not. They're just, sellers are going right for it, down to our 870 or 3870 here. Okay, sellers not having it. Nice stop run. Okay, can we get our buyers back up above 75 here? Let's take a quick look. Now, looking again for a quick move now, back up to about here, 80. Now, I'm kind of looking for some sort of counter move here to go with this kind of bigger move to the upside. However, the market's not telling us that. It is making lower highs and lower lows in here. So, looking at market structure is just a really key thing. And let's not, have it affect our bias in here. I mean, it's just fact. It's making lower highs and lower lows in here. We're not getting enough buyers at this time. Yeah, you're looking for a move to 3820. Wow, Bartoza, Bartos. Yeah, I'm still kind of pulling here for these buyers in here. I mean, it came back down into this area where they really kind of whipped it up quickly, pull back, whipped it up quickly again. So it's still in the cards here for these buyers, and here they come now. All right, so now looking for them to pull away really quickly here. Again, going with the bigger theme here still, and looking for now our 84, 85, and yeah, just up there for now. In fact, the first one is 80 here, this swing. Okay, because again, look at the structure here so far. Okay, it's nice little move there, but the structure is, it still just came up to here, and it's pulled back. Okay, now we want to see it break that. We already got our pullback here. Looking for our buyers again up here, and then the breakout. Okay, let's see if we can get it. Looking for it. Let's see the bid maybe show some interest here. And I'm not seeing it. Not seeing it yet. But we are looking for that. Okay. Now, secondary scenario here. The move down below this this line here on heavy selling. Then we're going to come right back down to the 70 level, and then maybe on down into 65 and 60. Okay, some of these areas we outlined. Okay, we are starting to get our buyers up here though. A few, not a high probability move. Okay, looking better. Look at the bid. Okay, they're staying in here. They're getting filled. Still a structure though. Structure really hasn't broken. Okay, so we need to see that We need to see the structure break, basically. Okay, so we're looking for a lack of sellers down here, and then buyers to come back up to 80. Now, the secondary scenario, if we just get a lot of selling in here right now, look out. You know, then the ride is down to 72 to 70 here. And no clarity right now. You know, one of the things I think is really important is when you don't see something, don't trade. You know, we had Fausto Puglisi yesterday with him on. He went through and said, like, you know, it's really important to know when not to trade. Now, here's our move by the buy side. Now, I think they got it here, looking for them to press it. Now, they're breaking it here. They got enough size here. So I'm looking for them to go up to 80, 85 to 86 here. Okay, we're with the bigger trend here. It's taken a while for this to work out. And then now we're looking for, you know, back to the markup to this liquidity here at 84. And then we have 85 and our 90s up here as well. Okay, we do not have someone on the bid here to help us though. This is all aggressor again. Okay, a little bit on the bid there, a little bit. It's helping. Now we're looking for the follow through. And we're not getting that at all. Okay, so this looks like the second scenario is really poised here. Okay, I thought we had a little bit of clarity up here. It's not turning out that way. In fact, it's less trading up here compared to the previous one. Yeah, we're almost at 10:30. I'm going to clear our drawings here. Okay, squeezes on here, buyers. You got it now. Just follow through on up to 81. They're pulling at 81. That looks good. I like it. Let's see them push through now. Back to our original move here. You know, we saw this quick dip here, and then now the squeeze, and now 81, looking for 84, 85, 86 liquidity to test. Okay, it's auctioning up here. Everything looks pretty good. The bid is showing a little bit of interest here. So yeah, we are looking for our follow through here. Bid is looking better. See how even though it's just kind of light blue in there, it does show some support. And now this guy is kind of disrupting that party now. And finally follow through here. 84, a quick sell off. All right, well, this is really kind of all over the place here today. Still going with the buyers here. It's the bigger move from this time frame here. We saw that unfold nicely, and so we're just looking for the continuation here. And let's see it, buyers. Let's see it. 85. Let's see if we can get to 90. Iceberg here, 283. Just one transaction so far. Still there though. Yeah, I mean, a Taurus trader. Yeah, I mean, like see how like the gaps in here, or like the kind of dark areas in here that sellers can like really shoot price down into these areas pretty quickly. And then also down here, and it just becomes a bigger range, area. And then we want to kind of read the structure in the range here, and also the volume and the liquidity in the range. I mean, this still looks bullish to me. So I mean, there's a little bit of clarity, and I mean, we zoom out a little bit more, and that's up to you, like your time frame. Guys, if you like this video, please give us a like, or subscribe to the channel is even better. We go through this kind of content every day. Okay, just reading the order flow. We'll go over any kind of strategy that you guys want. The key concept in this webinar is to educate about what Bookmap is showing you and how to read it and apply it to anything. Okay, so it's just market data in here, and it can debunk a lot. This is looking great here, guys. Like, God, I just can't get there fast enough. I mean, God, talk about your bull flag in here. This was just beautiful. Even though we had an iceberg in here, it's got a lot of pressure and power in here. Comes up here, they're still just buying and buying and buying. It fills. The iceberg fills, and then you see that it's just looking for the move here. So we're already up into our 89 level. Okay, now it's quickly pulled back, but we're still looking for higher here. 89 again, 90. Okay, and let's see it again. Markup periods, looking for the move here. 95, maybe the figure here, 3,900. Okay, it took a while in here, a lot of back and forth, but we're still looking for it in here. And so, like, for example, like debunking some of these ideas. This is a cup and handle pattern in here, or you can even look at, it's not a reverse head and shoulders. This is more like a kind of a flag pattern. But all these names like you know, distribution, whatever, all these different things, let's just, you know, make it simple. We just have liquidity getting filled down here. We had a large iceberg order, and we had a quick shift away from that area, and we found buyers. We're looking for it to go higher, right? So it did. We got a whole bunch of back and forth in here, but this is like, you know, kind of like a flag pattern, and then it kind of developed into like this kind of rounding a little bit here. This is our cup, this is the pullback, this is the handle, and there's your breakout. Okay, and now this has turned into a beautiful, this is just a picture perfect, I think, flag pattern. What does it mean? Okay, I don't care about the flag pattern. I care about strong move, this consolidation or pullback. What does it mean in here? What's the order flow showing us in here? Looking again for strong move, leg 2. So it's just a continuation move here. And we want to read the order flow. Okay, if you want to call it a flag, call it a flag. But it's about the order flow we want to read, and we're looking for the move to unfold into 89 and 90. Okay, because that's where the liquidity is. That's it, right? And we're still looking for it. We're still looking for it. Now we've got a pullback to our structural range in here. Okay, so here broke out. Now we got to go through our scenarios here. Okay, so some sellers trying to push it through. Okay, so this might be a false breakdown. We'll take a look here. Okay, for that to be a false breakdown, this is the scenario we're looking for, is buyers right up here at 85 3/4. Pretty strong buying, and we want to see it pull away from this area here and then come right back up to here. Okay, 92. Don't see it yet. Okay, other scenario. Well, if we get sellers down here, they're going to break it, and we're going to come right back down into our 81 liquidity here. Okay, and I don't see that one unfolding yet either. Okay, we're just reading the order flow in here to give that insight. All right, back to questions. Okay, so Leo, you also have a 38.20 on the low side. I mean, that's like 60 points away. Not saying you can't get there, but let's take a look here. All we've done is we've come up to this structural area here, 90, which is good. You know, a little bit higher would be better, maybe 94. Okay, so you're looking at this liquidity down here at 20. I'm still kind of looking for this to squeeze higher. Higher time frame stuff. Okay, well, what do we say? Like initially here, I wanted to see it test up into these wicks and then kind of fade. We're above them, and we're filling the gap in here. So maybe you can get to this kind of 09 area, or 05, I'm sorry, and then also kind of 06, or I'm sorry, 08, and then the total gap fills up here at 22. So that's like 100 points difference than what you're looking at here. Yeah, true. Yeah, that was, I mean, this move obviously is after the open. Yeah, for sure. Of course. I mean, we're just reading the order flow and then looking for the, you know, trajectory here. Yeah, you have the 39.05 to 8 area as well. Yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty good. You know, I like it on the daily here. The kind of move below these 2 days here and these 2 wicks down here. Let me make this look back a little easier here. So these 2 wicks in here, and also there's another one here. And then we're kind of back up in the range, looking to see if we can kind of come back up into fill the gap first. You know, so just some profit taking, some newer traders coming in and moving it back up into these areas here. Okay, well, anyway, that's what we're seeing so far, and we're going with it until we see something else. Okay, so, and that might happen right here. Let's see if we get our break here of this trend line here. Our seller's going to come in and just whack it, then back down to 80. And then back down to, well, 75.70 here. 75 liquidity here around that swing. Okay, let's see it here. We've got buyers starting to come in and lift it a little bit, maybe back up to the top of this little range here. We can start to look at some of the smaller structures in here, but just to, you know, go over some of the education in here. But there, okay, so there's the sellers starting to come in down to 80. All right, let's see if I can move it again further. Next move, 75-ish. Yeah, looking to see trying to pull it away here. Now looking for those sellers to try to do it again, and then you know, the next move would be down around here, 75 and then in a half or so. Okay, sellers, hit it, hit the bid. Let's see. Strong move, quick move. Looking for that. Not to just dribble down there. Okay, it's in their interest to pull it away from this area. Okay, reestablish new value area, or you know, consolidation. Okay, down at 77. I still want to see it go a little bit lower here. You know, we see the buying coming in, but still kind of looking for the 75.5. All right, sellers, let's see it here, right here. one more. Now let's see if you can push it right down into this liquidity here. Okay, we're looking at our pivot line right here, and we're looking for the sellers below it here, and then the quick move. There it goes. There we go. Beautiful. All right, there's our move. Okay, so now, this is a little tricky in here, but I want to cover it again. And we're still looking for it to go lower until we see something else. It looks like a good move here, good strong move. We're down at kind of the bottom of the ranges. I want to see it come down to 70 here if we can. I might be asking a little much. I mean, yeah. Look, we're looking for the move down here, 75.5. It did it. All right. And, take what the market gives you. We talked about that move from over here, that we had the potential for that move into 80, and then still kind of looking for it down here lower. Okay, and now here we've pulled back, and we're still looking for that continuation. Okay, but we would have taken some profit. What a consideration would be to take some profit off here. Okay, scale out a little bit. Reduce your risk. Prepare yourself for what if it moves against you, right? It's just good trade management. Okay, it's talked about 70 here, and it's going that direction here, but we're looking for this kind of move into 75.5. So we got it, right? And just take some off and manage it. Still looking for our 70 level though. Okay, and when we talked about this here, well, first off, the move up into this liquidity here, we're looking for it to continue. Pretty strong pullback, and then we started to note this in here, this pivot point in here. See the buyers above it. Okay, just like we were just looking for over here. I'll cover it twice here. Okay, the buyers come up above it. Okay, but the sellers are still in here, and that moved it lower. Now we're looking for sellers below it here. They came in. We're looking for bottom of the range in here, and then potential for the continuation, and we got that. All right, so it broke our trend line in here as well, and we're down now at our 70 level. Okay, so we went through the process. We read it. We're looking for the order flow to start to go toward those targets, and then we had the same thing that happened up here. Okay, that we had this kind of false, or this move down, the breakout, and then the breakdown below it here as well at 85 right here is no different than this move here. Here's our our sellers down. Here's our buyers back up above, and our sellers back down below. Okay, our pivot points in here. All right, and then we would have taken some off, or potentially, and then we're looking for what's going to happen next, and we don't know. We did have a pullback to where this kind of initiated here. It could have been a battleground. Could have had buyers back up above it. We didn't. We start to see the sellers come back in again, and we just didn't see a whole lot of buying in here. Right, sellers still in control. We're still targeting our 70 level. Okay, and boy, we almost got it. We still haven't gotten it yet. Again, look at the same move here. Okay, now we're looking for sellers below it. Be careful if we get buyers back up above here. Okay, this is the area of interest here. Okay, so you see the sellers push it down below. Okay, another thing to look at in these things here. Now we might get buyers back up above it, and then we'd be looking for top of the range here, and maybe even up here. There it goes. Okay, see how these turns into battlegrounds. And we said, you know, or what to look for to be careful about these areas in here is look at the structure first, and then start to look at the order flow around this line here, around our 72.5 area here. Okay, so we saw the buyers, we saw the sellers come in looking for the sellers, looking for our 70 level. Didn't get it, came back up above it, and then if we get our buyers up above it here, we're looking for up here to 74.5, 75, and then also here at 76.75. Okay, we marked them up before they got there. It just moved very quickly. But when to kind of look for some of these things too is at the bottom of a bigger move. Right, that's when we want to notice it, not in the continuation of the move, but at the bottom of the bigger move. Okay, so anyway, that's hope that's helpful for you. Yeah, understanding the order flow dynamics around some of these areas and when to look for them after a bigger move, right? Because we saw it a few times in here, right? We saw it once, we saw it twice. Now this is the third time we're seeing it here, but we wanted to be kind of careful about it. Because if we can get back up above it, then we're looking for the squeeze. All right, let's see here. All right, lots of questions or lots of comments here in YouTube. Let me go through them. Kodachrome, you're welcome. It's a funny name. Back to the film days. Yeah. Guys, if you like these webinars, give us a thumbs up, please, and subscribe to the page or the channel. The more that we get, the more we can do for you. Yeah, we need to break that 38.92 definitely to go higher. Yeah, absolutely. Taurus trader, you banked $1,840 first day of trading this. Okay, please. I'm very happy for you. Be really careful. You know, as we just had some webinars. One yesterday with Scott Pulcini, who brought up the you know, the saying, which I just think is fantastic, is from Mike Tyson. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. You know, how do you manage that? And that's the big question. Okay, so guys, look at our again kind of pivot points in here again. Okay, see how it kind of turned into a pivot point now. Here, and there's sellers below it, so I want to see them finally hit into our 70 level here. Finally, I think they got it here. Let's see if we got a slight pullback here. Okay, now looking for those sellers again, and to come right back into our 70 level here. Look where they came to. You know, the buyers. Look where they couldn't get through. They couldn't get back up into this 80, 82. Another one was Fausto. He said that I'll teach you how not to lose. He didn't say like I'll teach you to win, or that was his point. Okay, some high liquidity here. Looks kind of like a spoof. Layering, they are getting filled though, so it's not, but boy, it looks like it, huh? Back in the day, this was rampant. Back in the day, it wasn't too long ago. I mean, well, it was several years, but it's like, since it's illegal, like now you see other things happening. All right, sellers, let's see it one more, and let's see you push it here quickly. Stream right down into 70. There's 71. Guys, again, look at this kind of pivot. I mean, we're looking for that, but look at now how, just look for these things, okay? Because I think they can be really helpful here, and then boom, right back up, right? So this is our pivot. Sellers below it again here. Now, is it a trap, or is it real selling that's able to, like, I mean, really move it here? Okay, I'm looking for them again here, those sellers, and right here, and they should be able to move it 70. It's going to be quick. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right. Okay, 70 is achieved. And let's see, can it continue on now? Should be an easy move on down lower. I mean, just if we go with this scenario of the sellers here, we've gone through the back and forth in here. Now we're looking for a movement. We're looking for 60. Okay, maybe down to 50. Okay, we're watching and reading the behavior of the players in here. Got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Yeah, I mean, boy, I mean, I think it's just the what do you do when you get punched in the mouth? Or another one. I mean, like you hear you hear in all sorts of different professions, and you hear about pilots. Air combat pilots, like they have a plan, they go over it, but once they get in the air and combat begins, it's all something else, right? Just like getting in the ring with Mike Tyson. Or another one is you get directors or producers of films that go on location. All right, let's go through it. Let's go through our plan. What happens if this, and this, all these different scenarios. To understand like how we're going to react. That's exactly what we're doing in here. It's exactly what we're doing in here, going through these different scenarios. What are these things going to look like? And like these movie producers, it's like then once they get on site, they've got to deal with it. That's where the rubber really meets the road, and they're tested. Just like the pilots or the boxer, whatever, it doesn't matter. The analogy can be really used for anything or many things. Look at this in here, 69 liquidity here. A little battle starting to erupt. Push into it. Looks like buyers starting to repel the sellers here. Okay, back up into higher areas here. See how this affected everything. Okay, so back up to here. This is where the strategy, like something shifted in the weather here. Basically, look at, they're still here. Look at that, one player, 500 contracts in here, 500 contracts. Look at this bid. Okay, now do we get buyers? No. We get sellers, right? Okay, so then can sellers drop it below 70 again here? See the pivot point here again? Okay, so we're again looking for sellers to quickly drop it through that area here, and then try to maybe get down into 64. Okay, now just because this is where we learn a lot from these transactions. Are there sellers below it? No, not yet. I mean, so these guys are buying, they're buying, they're buying. Sellers took them on here, they're taking them on here yet again. So you can see this turning into a big battle in here. We're trying to gain some insight in here. Yeah, Bartos, some of the things I refer to in here like is just retest to an area and then to see what's the supply and demand at that area, like right now. So there's more sellers in here. It looks like I think the sellers are going to be able to drop it. Okay, now it's not high probability, but it just kind of, I see more selling, so I'm looking for them to drop it into 65, 60, 64, maybe 60. Okay, but it's not high probability, right? We really want insight in here. Now back up to here. All right, that's not bad. Now that could be your pullback. Now can we get sellers down here again? Look at the offer, look at the reaction to it. Now we've got something better. Okay, so now I'm looking for sellers here to try to drop it into our 65 and our 60 level here. Okay, so here we're trying, looking at it, trying to get some insight. No, didn't get it. We get a pullback into here, then the offer, then our sellers here. Now I'm looking for the sellers to drop it. Okay, so it's still a little hazy in here. The offers or the bid is showing some size in here. They're staying in here, and we're starting to find some buyers. Okay, but I still like the downside idea here, looking for sellers here at 76 and a quarter, and then the quick drop here. And we didn't get them. Okay, not yet. Yeah, we need to see that big red dot down here. Look at the battle starting to erupt again. Okay, now do we get sellers? Take them on. Okay, just because they take them on doesn't mean that they're pulling here. So this is a spoof. Okay, so looking for sellers again here, 76 and a half, and drop it. No, back to the top of the range here. Okay, bid showing some interest in here. All right, well, the one caveat in here was, yeah, I was looking for it. I saw the selling here, not too much here though. And this is really where we need to see that big red dot. I know that's getting in kind of into the minutia here. These moves happen so quickly though, right? So we have to be kind of careful. Now, what happens too a lot is it's these guys, like you see this quick move back up into where it dropped from here. Okay, well, it could be that just it's just kind of a squeeze here from the people trying to sell in here, and they had to cover really quickly. It doesn't mean that there's a new initiated move here. So a lot of times what happens in these moves is you'll see some selling in here, some selling in here. It breaks the structure up here, or the in the range in here. Okay, not there, here. 69 and a half. You get those buyers in here, and then it rotates back down. You get our sellers in here, and then you finally get the drop. Okay, so we're going to look for that. I don't see it happening right now. In fact, there's more buyers back up here. Okay, and they're lifting it away from our 70 level here. You can see it you can see that pretty clearly. Okay, top of the range. All right, so let's go through another scenario then. Okay, so all right, if we get our buyers in here, then we're looking back up into here, 75-ish, 74 3/4. Okay, if that fails, right here, 71.5 is where we're looking for our sellers. Okay, so there's that one. So what we're looking for here did not play out whatsoever. Okay, instead it broke above our 70 level here. We got to pull back, and then then we're looking for these two scenarios in here again. The buyers that come in, then we're looking for back up to 74 3/4. That's what unfolded here, and we can still get our sellers below here. Okay, and I'm not trying to have a bias in here. I'm just reading the order flow. Okay, so because it is back and forth right now, we're trying to look at who's taking control of the market and moving it. That's what we're looking for. Okay, and it's buyers in here. It's buyers right now. Okay, everything kind of shifted in here. It was sellers down here. We got above that. It's buyers, and it's another one by buy side here. Back up to this swing here. Okay, so we want to see sellers take control below these buyers in here. That's what we're looking for that possible scenario, or our buyers supporting it. Let's see. Okay, sellers, and if there's enough, then quick move down to 70 again. I hope you guys are seeing this. Some of these moves in here, like in here, and then like in here. Okay, it's pretty visual. Like in here, and like in here. Okay, so this was a continuation move. One, pull back, leg two. Now, let's see if we get sellers to try to trade it right back down to 70 here. Okay, that would be leg one, pull back, and let's see. Looking for sellers right here at 72.5 and to drop it into 70. All right, anyway, just want to go over the concept here. I want to take a step back though and look at the bigger picture. Okay, so we don't get caught up in the minutia here. Guys, you see these little yellow, dim yellow lines in here? Okay, this is with the MBO bundle. Okay, I gotta read this. The webinars are life-changing, Bruce. Thank you, McLoco. I really appreciate that. Yeah, subscribe, give us a like. I know you're in Discord, or guys, you can come over to Discord as well. There's room in there. Okay, let's zoom back in here. Look at our sellers come in, looking for the follow through now. They've gotten through 70 and looking for the continuation into our 65 and 63 down here, maybe 60. Okay, looking for it. See how there was just no support here. This is one of the things that we usually look for, is support right here by the buyers. A lot of times you just don't get it, and when you don't get it, it's an easier read to the bottom of the range, and it happens a lot. Yeah, here we go again. So we got a little bit of a bounce here. Now let's see if we can get our continuation to the downside here. Okay, followed by a big stop run into some of these areas here. Learn to bleed and go down on one knee before and recover before the 10 count. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And what are you saying here, Leo? If you are right and the wrong time, you're wrong. Yep, absolutely. All right, back to YouTube. Let's see here. Yeah, you were looking for that break of the 92. Well, I wasn't quite too sure about it. The volume started to look pretty good. But there's still more sellers in here, and then we look at the structure, right? It did break the smaller structure here, but this was a false breakout here, right in here. And then we see the sellers come in, and then we're looking for our 70 level, and they pushed it through. Now we got a retest back to 70 here. Okay, so this 70 pivot line here is really kind of important here, and it's been a battle above and below it. I mean, look, one of the ways you can look at this in terms of trade management is, take some off at the bottom of the range, or take some off at the level itself too. In this case, I think you can kind of wait a little bit and look for, don't, we've gone through this scenario so many times that, you can kind of look forward, maybe the test back down into maybe here, or, kind of bottom of the swing here, before you take some off. It's something to consider, and you can get another 3 points out of it or so. Guys, I mean, going through these scenarios and just what we're looking for in here, and then kind of mentioning, and we're looking for something that is clearer, and then that's a really big distinction, to get that kind of clarity, and leads to a much higher probability. And we're going to read the order flow and go, well, it's not that clear, but kind of the order flow is kind of telling us this way. And those turn into sometimes great moves, but a lot of times they don't. Most of the times they don't. We're really not sure who's moving the market, who's in control. Okay, so now I'm looking, see right here, we're below our 70 level. I'm looking for sellers to try to take control at least down to here. Down to here, 76 or 66 and 3/4. Okay, that's it though for right now, just that. Okay, so and then maybe they can take it further. Okay, so there it is. I would take some off. I would have front ran it a bit. I like to do that just to make sure I get my fill. And now holding and looking for maybe a bigger move here. Okay, and now getting stopped out. Okay, I gave it a shot, and now we're back up above 70. Okay, so and now it looks like the opposite scenario here. It went down below it, and look at the move back up above it. But you didn't lose any money here, and you gave it a shot. Okay, now we're getting, you know, quite a bit of buying here, and they're going to try to take it right back up to here. It looks like 75. So again, flag pattern. Okay, just strong buying, pause, looking for strong buying. Maybe we can get up even higher, up to here. I like it. God, we're already there, 76. Okay, now, okay, we had to change our whole direction here in bias. It's not, you know, I don't find it very easy, but we tried this and it's like, huh, scratch our head. Then we see this and then we're like, well, wait a minute now, you know, here's a, you know, strong buying up to here and strong buying again, looking for the move to the top of the range, 75, maybe 77 is what we were saying, right? Up into like here. Okay, now it's still strong. It's still strong. Again, you know, you can still be holding this and looking for now 80 as well. Okay, but see the distinction in here, and we were looking for it here. Okay, taking a shot at it, and then whoa, you know, what's up here? And then in here is where we know there's strong buying in here, and we know that they're starting to move the market. So we're looking for a move back up into these areas. Okay, now we've gotten leg 1, leg 2, and now we're looking for our leg 3 here, and then up into 79 and 80 here. Okay, strong buying again. Okay, so yeah, we're looking for it, 80. Okay, maybe it can this can turn into a bigger move as well. Okay, back into what Taurus traders looking for 92, back up to the high, or 95, maybe the figure. We don't know, but we are looking at the movement, and this could potentially turn into something like that. You know, and we're taking what the market gives us along the way. Captain Price, I really like it. You're not trading. You know why. You're not good at range trades, etc. Great. That's, you know, and then fear of missing out, etc. So you're just sitting on your hands. It's great. Newbie, it's kind of hard to trade some of these when I mean, you can even see I turned my head and I even missed the move, and I'm not even trading it. So you know, if this was our trading room, it'd be a very different dynamic. We couldn't talk through all these different scenarios and things. Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not trading live in this. This is live forward-looking analysis. What happens when we start trading live in here? Well, first off, it's it's a bit of a challenge. I'd be fine with it, to be honest. I don't have an issue with it. You don't like to be wrong in front of a lot of people, but like, just drop the ego. And what is the chart telling us, right? In here, like, is a good example. You know, we're looking for, yeah, it's looking pretty good. Selling starting to pick up, should come back down into bottom of the range and then break it into 64. And then, whoa, what's this? Strong buying. It's kind of dwarfing this selling, or some of this selling in here, and we're starting to get above it here. You know, this is looking for that scenario for back up into top of the range, this little range here, and potentially further. Okay, so we said 70, 77, I think, and then we even looked at, you know, up in here, or 80. We're looking at 80. We didn't get to 80 though. We didn't get there. We got to 79. Okay. Well, anyway, this kind of being that kind of having that kind of fortitude to switch based on what the chart is saying, and admit you're wrong, is yeah, you can be slow on the take there. Again, I mean, but what time frame are we trading? I mean, we're looking at these very small time frames. See, look at how this is turning again into that battleground. I'm looking for the sellers to take it right back down to the bottom of this range, guys. Okay, this, ride it down quickly. The sellers are coming in, so we're looking for that. And then I want to see it kind of break the range here, to be honest. Okay, let's see here. We're getting a pullback already. Okay, I got to see sellers here again at 70. There they are. Not much though. Not much. I don't like it. I'm looking for the move lower, but I don't like it. There, that's looking a little bit better, but look at the bid here. It makes it more convoluted in here. And we lack our clarity in here. Okay, but I wouldn't take it, basically, is what I'm saying. But I am looking for it to come down here still. Okay, that scenario. All right, there's a big distinction between the two. Yeah, another thing, a newbie, I'll tell you, like once you start trading, everything goes, your eyes go to the profit and loss, and it's really judgmental as well. This guy sucks, this guy's great, whatever. And the learning, it's hard for a lot of people to get over that bias of like, well, are we going to learn in here, or are you going to just look at the profit and loss? Okay, this is looking better now. Sellers, they should be able to move it. I like it. It's a lot of selling. I'm looking for leg 2 now, down to the bottom of the range here. Okay, and then it also has the potential to go further, I think. 65, 63. We know 60 has a lot of liquidity down here. One of the things I really like watching JTrader is he'll just cut it and not worry about it, go to the next trade if he's wrong. I mean, we had some clarity in here. It's really murky now, right? So yeah, I would cut it. Structurally, it's still holding here, in fact, but we're seeing something else in here. Okay, after it moved a few legs down lower. So, but I'm looking for. All right, so if we get enough sellers in here, right here, they should be able to at least get down to 68. And you see the bid in here, and the reaction is a bit of buying. So yeah, I'm just, we're going through all these different scenarios in here, but we would look for the same thing on the higher time frames. Okay, so looking for our sellers here. Here they come. All right, I think we got it here. Sellers should be able to move it here. And I think we got probably down to about here, 64 and a half or so. And we don't have it. We don't have it. Our buyers are back up above it, so look out. Right, they'll probably come right back up to here. Okay, so this is a false breakdown. On a very small time frame. All right, guys. So I'm sorry, I'm going through all these different scenarios in here on these very small time frames, but we're just not seeing much else right now at the moment. Yeah, oh boy, that's not a bad idea. Like, you know, here we can look at this big consolidation period in here, right? Well, so we saw this move at the open or at the beginning of the webinar, and then we had some nice things to look at here. That this was, see the kind of clarity that we saw in here? We went through it, like, you know, several times, what we saw in here and why we're looking for these moves higher. And then this was kind of a difficult pullback, because it just kept on going, but it had a kind of a bias to, or it had a look to it here with more buyers at some of these areas in here. And then we got this kind of move in here. We're looking for the break, and then another one in here, and then we got our break higher. And then we did see the move on the downside as well, back down to 70. And then it's been bouncing around in here for quite a while at 70. Now, what old boy is bringing up is we're trying to, he says an hour is not a bad time to understand, like, this is a consolidation period, and then we're looking for a move. And then we want to read the back and forth in here, and this, a distribution or accumulation in here, and who's winning the battle, and then looking for the move, the easy move, the markup or the markdown period. Yeah, and right now I'd still give it to the sellers in here. Here they come again. Okay, looking for them to break it here. This selling looks good. See the selling looks good here. You got to go for it, you know. Now, I'm not telling you to trade. It's not a trade recommendation, but it looks pretty good. Let's zoom in here. Okay, well, they are getting filled in here. Okay, so they are staying in the order book. All right, we don't see many icebergs though. It's a little different. Look at the push from the offer here. Okay, so, you know, and now we're back up to the top here of the range. Okay, and then potential squeeze for these sellers in here, these aggressive sellers. But you know, we haven't broken the structure yet, and we can also see sellers come right back in here again around here at 68, let's call it, and then drop it again. Okay, look at the offer, looking for the drop down lower. Okay, now we got to go through the other side of this. Remember how this could be the fuel here for the move back up into some of these higher levels here. Okay, so you know, we want to be aware of that in here. There's a spoof there, beautiful little spoof. Okay, here as well. Spoofing is back in. Look at that. Guys, structure is still bearish in here from this drop here. That's why we go through the who's in control. You know, I mean, you can even see it here and here, like who's in control, right? So we know sellers are still in control. So we're looking for them here. Show up and then drop this thing. Okay, they're still in control. Even this buying in here is still made a lower high. We're still looking for sellers and we're looking for a drop. Now here we're getting our squeeze. Okay, back up to where these sellers though took control, right? Okay, now let's see if we can go through. Let's look at this in here. And I know this is kind of complex day today, but now here 68, our pivot line here, sellers below it. This is a quick little squeeze back up here, and let's see if we get sellers below it here. Okay, if we do, I'm looking for a quick move to the bottom of the range and then the potential move on down lower. And these guys will be the fuel here. Okay, let's see if we get it here. Sellers, and hit it. Okay, now we should get our move. Okay, not a trade recommendation, but we should get our move here. It did the pullback here. We're back down again here. We're looking for continuation now. Okay, this has been a really choppy day though. So, you know, in general, that would be the primary scenario. Okay, secondary scenario is our buyers back up here at 70 and then the move back up to 73, etc. Just, you know, going through the scenarios, but the nod here right now is to the sellers. Okay, still looking for it. See how, I mean, we broke this up in here. We did not break this structure, but, and then it failed below here. And we made a lower high here. We're getting our sellers here, looking for the push. Okay, 60 should be a pretty good area to target, just maybe in front of it. European close. Yeah, that's right. So this is our European close here at right after 11:30 here. So some back and forth in here makes some pretty good sense. Maybe some quick covering. Just be, you know, really careful on this European close now as well. Like 11:30 East Coast time. You know, still staying with this kind of sell side objective, but being very cautious about buyers up above 70 here. A lot of times we see the big move begins after the European close. All this back and forth, quadruple witching, etc. Okay, here come our buyers here. They should be able to squeeze it now. Okay, that's our secondary scenario here. So now we're looking for the squeeze, and we're looking for buyers to start to run it here up into, well, 73. Let's see if they can do that. No, they cannot. In fact, false breakout, and we're back to these guys in here selling. But yeah, I don't see them yet. Or is this that pullback here? And then we get our buyers back up here again. Anyway, we're looking for some clarity in here, and is just, you know, squinting at it. So blue line down here is icebergs. Red line here are stops. Okay, we're not getting much out of that right now either. Anyway, guys, let's wrap it up here. So yeah, please give us a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel. It's very helpful. We have all next week, we have the Pro Trader webinar series. So no advanced webinars at 10 a.m. We do this every quarter. We invite other traders to come in, and they're going to go through how they trade. And they're professional traders. So, you know, come in and enjoy that. I think it should be a really interesting one because it's going to have a focus. Last time we did a focus on crypto. This time it's going to be a focus on options. Okay, we have a lot of options traders out there. So they're reading the order flow in Bookmap and the underlying and then looking for taking positions. We have Doug Pless, we have Brent Kachuba, we have Options Millionaire, we have Tyler Wilson, and And JTrader. He's a big options trader. So he'll go through his style as well. Right. Scott Pulcini, we'll do a special event with him the following week or whenever in the near future. But yeah, he's not much of an options trader. Okay, so just wanted to let you know about all of that upcoming stuff and a lot of other events as well. All right, so let's just leave it at that. One thing here, guys, keep an eye out for these scenarios, because one way or another here, it's going to break and it's going to be pretty nice. So look for it. Now, the one thing I think can be the most helpful here is to really look for the distinction. Okay, so look at the context, relative volume in here. Like right now, sellers, they've got this. If they want this, they've got this, and you just got to jump in like right now, and then look for the move into 60. Okay, so we had to go through all this back and forth and mumbo jumbo in here, but when you kind of zoom out, you see things a lot clearer. We just don't have time to wait for that clarity, so we go through many different things in here and scenarios. I hope it's not confusing for you. That's not the goal. The goal is actually quite the opposite, is to look for these different scenarios to support the move here. And then we have something clearer. We can look for the higher probability of that move. See how we had to go through all of this in here. Now look at it, right? 60 looks pretty good, right? Maybe 55, maybe 50. You guys were talking about 20 down here. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, that's a totally possible scenario here today. You can look at your measured moves and stuff in here. Now, I'm not much of a fib guy. I think there's just kind of a bunch of BS, to be honest. But and other indicators. But one thing I do like about some of these measured moves that make good sense to me are where stops are going to be triggered. So maybe half of a move. You might get half of a move, or you might get a full 100% retracement move, and look where that ends up down here. Okay, it ends up right into your guys 20 level. Right, so I just wanted to mention that about measured moves, and why I think they work is due to the order flow in here, and then the reaction of other traders. Okay, it's not about, oh yeah, it's hitting the golden ratio and the fib. No, it's more about the orders and people's behavior within the order flow. Okay, so the next move is 55 here, which is the low of the day here. That we'd be looking for that. Okay, after all of this mumbo jumbo in here, and then looking for this directional move. All right, so it looks pretty good. Here's our big selling. Not bad on the buy side either. It retraced almost all the way back up here. But there's still more selling in here at the moment. So we're still looking for sell side here. All right, guys, I'll leave you with that. Have a good weekend, everybody. Come into the Discord chat room if you want to continue the discussion in there. We have Tom B up next. He'll be going through volume profile in his moves and his expertise with volume profile. So I think you be redirected right over to that. All right, so if you want to check that out. Thanks for coming, everybody, and we will see you next week with the Pro Trader webinar series. Looking forward to it. Okay, Monday is going to be start off with a bang with Brent Kachuba. All right, he's awesome. Okay, we'll talk later. Okay, bye-bye.